Welcome, Nerd Science. If I were to tell you that this is a timeline of Earth's history with the Earth forming right here and today right here, where would you put some events? Think about it in your head. Like, where would you put things like, say, Europeans colonizing North America? Where would you put things like Caesar here? Where would you put things like the pyramids? And then let's go back to where would you see ice ages and mastodons and saber-toothed tigers and all of those guys. And then where would you see dinosaurs? And where might you see things like trilobites, or well, trilobites are these guys if you don't know that. Those kinds of fossils. How far back on the timeline does some of that stuff exist? Where would you put a dinosaur? Now, I did this on purpose to set up a scale that matches your Earth Science Reference Table, Earth History. The Earth forms right here 4,600 million years ago, or as I usually say, 4.6 billion, 4,600,000,000 years ago. And stuff happens 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 until we get till today. Now, the thing that's usually surprising to people is that dinosaurs lived during this era here, the Mesozoic. So dinosaurs on our timeline were right there. More time has passed between early dinosaurs and late dinosaurs than has passed between the extinction of dinosaurs and today. Dinosaurs were around for a really long time, but even given that, a really long time, that's right up close to the edge of today. All right, this line over here represents all of Earth's history and the abundance of multicellular life. Yes, some things did exist pre-Cambrian, but the abundance of multicellular life really exists only in this tiny little time slot right here. Very close to today. So things that we think are very old, like dinosaurs, like trilobites, really, compared to the age of the Earth, are still quite recent. Gives you some perspective. And if you try to put pyramids or anything like that back, this line is so thick that covers pretty much all of human history. No problem. So, what you're going to have to do is use this reference table, pages 8 and 9, and I honestly want to make this quiz as easy as possible so that we can get you guys, this should be the last quiz, maybe 2 quizzes we do, where I just want everybody to get some 10 out of 10s and get your grade up here right before the end. So here's what I'll do. I'll either ask about eras, which will be those, or periods, which will be those, and then I'll just like go to an event. So let's say I say when, the quiz question may be when did we have the earliest birds? You're going to search through the life thing for birds. There's earliest birds. Then you can tell me that that's either during the Jurassic period, if I ask for a period, or the Mesozoic era, if I ask for era. Or maybe I'll ask about something that has to do with rock. I could say, when did the Catskill Delta form? That's going to be over here in geological events. And that would be during the Devonian period, or the Paleozoic era. All right, so this is like most of, it's the most recent stuff. It's the stuff with most of the evolution of life that we've had on this planet. But yeah, it only represents that tiny little slice. And all we're going to try to do is figure out some events through that. So I might have some of those, might have some of those. I might break it down to years, which isn't super difficult. Like the Devonian here started 416 million years ago and ended 359 million years ago. So if I said when were Earth's first forests and I asked for a number, the number would be in there. The only mistake people make there is they try to take this and go all the way over to that to get these numbers. But remember, all of that, kind of the most of Earth's history is in that chunk, but most of this reference table is in that chunk. So make sure you just use those little tiny numbers right there. You'll be good. Then maybe I'll say one of these critters, where do they live? Coelophysis, letter L. So I just come over here to animals and I look for letter L. There it is. Coelophysis lived during the Triassic. So it lived between 251 and 200 million years ago. It's up towards the top of that, so probably a little closer to 200. Or during the Mesozoic era. Slightly older one, fake ops, letter C. There's letter C, lived during the Devonian. And it also lets us know that C B, and A. All of those critters are trilobites, and trilobites in general lived that long. A, B, and C are 3 different types of trilobites. The E and F are 3 different types of nautiloids, and so on. So that should be most of it. And again, the goal is not to make this difficult. This is like where North America was 3 times. I don't think I'll use that. This black line is, was there rock deposited in New York or not? Black means yes. So there is no Permian rock anywhere deposited in New York State. That should be most of it. And again, I hope these quizzes are easy. Try to get you guys some points before you get out of here. That's it. Welcome to Earth Science.